There's a secret battle being fought every single night in millions of apartments across the country. It's a totally invisible war fought with radio waves. And the collateral damage? Well, that's your lagging video call, your endlessly buffering movie, your entire connection to the world. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this battle and give you the tools you need to report on it. All right, so just so you know where this is all coming from, this is part of a much larger guide for news media. It's a 10-part series all about covering radio frequency interference from a bunch of different angles. It's all based on a fantastic report by a group called RFI detectives who worked with research from Virtualization Options LLC. Now, for our purposes today, we're zooming in on just one piece of that puzzle, Chapter 7, which is all about high-density Wi-Fi in apartments. So let's start with a question that pretty much everyone living in an apartment has asked. It's 7 o'clock at night. You finally sit down. You're ready to stream something or get some work done, and bam, it's gone. Buffering, lagging, dropped connections. Your Wi-Fi, which was working perfectly fine an hour ago, is suddenly useless. Well, what if the culprit isn't your router or your internet provider? What if it's all of your neighbors? Now that is a hook your audience will lean in for. To really get why this 7 p.m. slowdown happens, we've got to diagnose the root cause. And here's the thing you have to understand. When you're living stacked on top of and next to hundreds of other people, your Wi-Fi is literally fighting a constant battle for airtime. This isn't about your internet plan. It's about the invisible radio environment inside the building itself. The technical name for this problem is spectrum congestion. And really, the best way to think about it is like a highway. At 3 in the morning, you can fly down the road, no problem. But at 5 p.m. rush hour, it's a parking lot. It's the same number of lanes, just too many cars. Well, in an apartment building, every single router from every single apartment is a car trying to merge onto that same limited digital highway. And if you're wondering why that traffic jam feels like it's getting worse every year, well, look at this number. The average American home now has more than 20 devices connected to Wi-Fi. 20. We're talking laptops, phones, smart TVs, smart speakers, video doorbells, watches. The list goes on and on. Now multiply that number by every single apartment in the building. You can see how that highway gets gridlocked fast. Okay, so we've got this technical problem, right? But how do you turn spectrum congestion into a story that people will actually watch? Well, that brings us to our first story angle. You focus on something everyone can see and feel for themselves, that primetime slowdown. Think of this as your reporting playbook. It's all laid out. First, you just document it. Run speed tests in an apartment at 2 p.m., then again at 8 p.m. Show the numbers. Show that drastic drop. Then, you find the human story. Talk to the remote worker whose video calls keep freezing, or the family that just wants to watch a movie together. Then you bring in the experts, the network specialists who can explain why it's happening. And the payoff for your viewer, you finally give them an answer. You connect their frustrating, glitchy internet to this invisible cause they never knew existed. All right, now for the second story angle. This one goes a bit deeper. It's not just about slow internet. It's about an issue of technological fairness, of haves and have-nots, happening right inside the very same building. It's the story of what's called the 6E divide. So here's the deal. Remember that congested highway we talked about? That's the legacy Wi-Fi most of us are still using. But there's a brand new, wide-open superhighway that's been built right next to it. It's called Wi-Fi 6E. It's uncongested, it's fast, it's amazing. So what's the catch? Well, to get on this new superhighway, you need a new car, a new, more expensive router, and new devices that support it. This creates a fascinating digital divide, where some of your neighbors can pay to zoom by in the fast lane, while everyone else is stuck in that same old traffic jam. That's a powerful story. When you get right down to it, our job as journalists is to make the invisible visible. And that's exactly what this story does. It takes this thing that just feels like a random, annoying glitch in your life, and it gives it a name, it gives it a cause, and it gives it a human face. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote comes straight from the report we're working from. The audience for this story is massive, and it's built in. We're talking about tens of millions of renters who are dealing with this every single night. You can be the ones to finally explain to them what is really going on. So we'll leave you with this thought. You've got the diagnosis, you've got two powerful, ready-to-report story angles. The only real question left is the one right here on your screen. How is your newsroom going to take these ideas and finally make this invisible battle visible for your community?